It's October, so that can only mean another monthly reset, and so much has happened since the last one. Oh my gosh. September was a whole thing, guys. Anyway, before we jump in, I just want to show you, because it is now officially autumn, look at this. This is obviously an acorn cup that my husband bought me, and it's just so freaking cute. So yeah, no pumpkin mug today, you guys. We have the acorn mug instead, and you're probably going to see this a lot because I am in love. That's not relevant to this video whatsoever, but I'm just so proud of it and happy that I'm just carving out room in the video for it. You're welcome. Okay, so acorn cup digressions aside, let's dive in with goals, shall we? Right, well, my goals for September, I did keep it very small. I say small, I had one. It was a big goal though, and that was to get my shop update launched. Now, when I set that goal, it was the beginning of September. Things were normal. So it was pretty feasible and everything was going according to plan. And then, I'm not going to go into it too much because I've already gone into it. We had a big change at home, and that's meant that my working day has completely changed, and the amount of time I have in a day to spend working has shrunk a lot. So did I get the shop update launched in September? Yes, by the skin of my teeth. Literally September 30th, I think about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, it went up. So with hours to spare, I did it. Hooray, go me. Whatever, it still counts. So yeah, that was my goal for September. Now the big change was that my daughter is now being homeschooled. So moving forward into October, there isn't really a goal as such. I just want to find out what our natural rhythm is, you know, the homeschooling and the working, without this huge cloud of the shop update over our heads. Because up till now, we've been doing both things, or I've been doing both things, while at the same time trying to get everything ready for the shop update. And by the end of it, it did really feel like the wheels were wobbling and starting to come off. I had to drop a load of items that I was going to include in the shop update. It was all very rushed. It went well. Thank you to everyone who placed orders. I have some items here to show you in a little bit. But for now, yeah, I just want to know what it's like, this new routine that we've got, without all of that stress. So that will be my goal for October. But that's not the end of the goals, because being October, that means it's the start of Q4. Dun dun dun! If you're a small business owner, most of us will be quaking in our boots because we don't know if we're going to have a really busy quarter or a really quiet one. Both are equally as bad and stressful in very different ways. So I'm with you, I'm with you. And because it's a new quarter, I've brought back my quarterly planner, because I use this planner, and it's great. It's called a Legend planner, but it's not really made for just business. It's made for life, if you have big life plans and stuff. So there's an awful lot of stuff in this that I don't use. You can see that they've got all of these little ribbons. So you've got one that tells you the week that you're on, the other one tells you which month, and then you've got quarterly goals at the back. And that's one of the things that I've liked about this. Not many planners will have that. They won't make room for quarterly goals, because I don't set myself New Year's resolutions. I set myself quarterly goals, as I keep on saying. But here's the issue with this though. This book, I haven't seen it like this in such a long time, because it's always open. I keep it open all the time, because if I don't see it, I forget it. And this is why I used to make myself some planners, quarterly planners that I used to print out and put on my wall. I'm going to do that again, and I thought, just for giggles, I'm going to offer them as a PDF in the Etsy shop as well. I know I rarely talk about my Etsy shop. I'm going to offer it in my Etsy shop as a PDF, just for anybody else who wants to download it as well. I will say, I do make these for me, so they are very much made with my aesthetic. i.e. it's got my leafy logo and they're green, and I have no intentions of making them in different colours. So if you don't like the look of them and they're not your aesthetic, don't worry. You know, it's just up there because I've made it for me already and I thought somebody else might like it too. And if you don't, that's cool. for once, I will put the link to my Etsy shop below, but only once. Anyway, I've digressed again. Quarter 3 goals. Yes, I've got the planners, but my goals for last quarter, I kept it nice and short, small, realistic. I wanted to get the autumn shop update up. As I said, I got that done, but literally right at the end of quarter 3 as well. So by the skin of my teeth. And then the other one I did mention was some house DIY, and I knew that was going to be rumbling on, and boy, did it ever. So quarter 4. I would like quarter 4 to be a little calmer, but also a little bit more productive for the business. No more DIY. So my first goal, I want to focus on starting to use Pinterest again, which I haven't used in years and years and years. I actually went on it the other day and I didn't it's not that I didn't recognize it, I didn't understand where everything was. That's how little I use that platform. I've mentioned that my Google traffic has taken a bit of a dive since they made changes to how their search works. So while I'm trying to build that up again, I think Pinterest might be a good way of bringing in some extra organic traffic. So I'm going to give that a go and see how we do. The next thing I want to do this quarter is I want to batch some content for December for this channel, which is not something I usually do. I literally make one video after another from week to week. But I want to batch some content because I want to try and do Vlogmas again on my other channel. However, making videos for this channel and for my Patreon and doing Vlogmas, there is no way. I'm good. I'm not that good. So I need to batch some content if I'm going to do Vlogmas. So that's going to be my next goal. And then lastly, I want to restock the ornaments that I launched in the autumn shop update. There were only a small amount. I was going to make more, but again, everything. So basically I've incorporated my hand embroidery work with clay. I know, bit different, but I felt like I made a video recently about how everything was changing, so changing up my products is part of my plan to keep things fresh. So I've got, you might recognise these are actually my stick and stitch snowflake patches. They're not, they're the designs on the stick and stitch snowflake patches. I've just put them on here. They're making little clicky clack noises, which is quite satisfying. Would you focus? Not on my face. There we go. Anyway, I think these are really pretty and I'm going to make more. And then there's these. I'm going to stick my hand in front of my face so that it will focus. So these are basically clay ornaments with hand embroidered detailing. And then I've sort of encased it with more clay. In future though, I'm not going to do the backs with clay. I think I'm going to use a felt backing because it will make the process so much quicker. It will make me want to cry less, which is always a good thing. And it will mean that I won't have to charge quite so much for them because it's very time sucking doing it this way. But yeah, I love these. Again, I only had one set of these and I wanted to see how popular they were. So rather than sell them as a set, I sold them individually just so that I could sort of build up a little bit more data on them to see how well they did. I've only got one left, but I've had a few people ask about sets. It won't focus if my face is in there. So I am going to make some more of these as well, but I'm going to focus on the snowflake ornaments, seeing as we are in quarter 4 and the holiday season and that. So that's my last goal for quarter 3, is to restock those. Okay, right, that was a bit of a waffle over my goals, so let's just crack on with budget very quickly. And it will be very quick because September was, well, I didn't really spend much other than pretty much the basic amount of stuff that I spend every month, my usual monthly expenses. I did buy a few supplies, but not many. And it's probably going to be the same in October because I've pretty much got my business to the point where my expenses are more or less the same month on month. Even my annual big bills, I squirrel away a little bit every single month so that when they come out, the money's already there. So it doesn't really feel like it's going like this, and it did used to. So I am wondering whether or not to ditch the budget part of these monthly reset videos, because I just feel like there's nothing really here for you. You tell me if the budget part is useful to you or not, and if it's not, then we can ditch it. Okay, so this is the fun part. Most of you know the drill by now, but if you are new here, this is the part where I talk about my sales, my Etsy sales versus my Shopify website sales, and which one out. And I've started a whole Fight Club thing to make it more interesting for me. You'll see here I've even made little a little picture just to make it more fun. I also have, I'll show you now, a tally essentially of who won out month on month. And you can see here that I've got last year as well. The two crosses that you can see are where I didn't have my website, so there was nothing to compare to. And if we look at the top, you can see that Etsy has been pretty much holding its own. And that has been since Etsy made that change where if you were sending out your items faster than you stated you were, to give yourself a little bit of wriggle room or whatever, they automatically reduced your dispatch time. And I was one of those people that would dispatch things usually the next day if I could, but I like to give myself a bit of wriggle room, so my dispatch time was like 2 to 3 days, and Etsy automatically reduced it. And I was going to change it back until I started realizing that I was getting my international customers again. And that is what we see in this chart. Since I got my international customers back, my sales have come back. Yeah. So, who won out in September? Etsy or Shopify? Etsy. They really have come out swinging. However, every single month that Etsy has won out in terms of sales, they've lost in terms of revenue and profit by quite a lot. And this month was no exception. So for example, I made more sales on Etsy in September than I did on my website, but I made less than half the amount of revenue and profit on Etsy than I did on my website. Why? I've said it time and time again. It's simply because the only things that I find that sell for me on Etsy are the lower ticket items. So I have to sell more of them to make even close to the same amount that I would on my website. So I say that just as a reminder, sales are just one part of the jigsaw. You have to bear in mind what your revenue is and also what your profit is. But I have made a few notes because again, I think this is useful to some of you. Traffic to both my Etsy shop and my Shopify website is pretty much the same as it was this time last year. There's no difference. It hasn't increased or decreased. It's just chugging along as normal. However, sales are up on both platforms compared to this time last year. By a lot, but that doesn't make sense. By quite a lot. There we go. And again, I'm talking about September. This could go down from here on in. I hope not, touch wood. And yes, I put that revenue coming in is up on both platforms from this time last year too. And also I just want to drop this in because I get asked almost every month. I don't use paid ads. I don't advertise my Etsy shop or my Shopify website. My Etsy traffic and sales are pretty much organic. I say pretty much because I can't rule out that people don't find me over there from this YouTube channel or my other one. I don't link to it, but people know my shop name. It's not a secret, so you can go over there and you can find it. It's just that I'm not giving you a direct lift over there. You have to go and do the work yourself. Shopify, that's the platform that I direct all of my traffic and my efforts to. And I do that because this is the other question that I get asked. How do I do that? It's a mix of my Instagram account, Google search, although as I say, that's been going down, which is why I'm going to bring in Pinterest, and my Beechtree Handmade YouTube channel. Those are the three ways that I really promote the handmade product side of my business. I hope that has answered any questions you've got before you've asked them, but if not, you can get in the comments and I'll answer them there. So hopefully October is going to be a calmer month because I need it to be. September was a stress fest and made me cry several times. I'm not too proud to say that. So yes, I need October to chill out. Will it chill out? We'll see. Yeah, I'm just going to focus on restocking the shop. I'm not going to be making any new items for the shop going forward. I might not do another shop update this year. It might just be, if I have anything new, I'll just launch it as I make them, because I think that'll be a lot less stressful. Yeah. How was September for you? Come let me know. Tell me all about it. Was it stressful for you? Was it good? Was it crickets? I've heard multiple versions. It doesn't seem to be good for everyone or bad for everyone. It's a whole mix of stuff. So what was your particular flavour of stuff? Come chat to me in the comments and we will keep the conversation going there. And until next time, ta-ra.